And what's up, everybody? We're back with another stadium review. I'm back with Ann Pomeroy
Hello, everyone.
because Ann Pomeroy visited the stadium with me and also has visited the stadium more times than I have.
Yeah,
And I'm here, so I thought, well, I'll just record the review together.
let's do it.
Peep the new Miffrey mic, by the way. Thank you,
Yeah.
Miffrey, for
This
letting
is
us use
this
your
is
mic.
Lycus's little backdrop spot. So I'm gonna plug their podcast, Strolling and Trolling, right now. So this is where he does his recordings, and that's where I come out of the shadows to interrupt this podcast.
But, excuse me, today the stadium in question is Waldo Stadium in Kalamazoo, Michigan, home of Western Michigan football. John Madden, football. For me, this is my third college stadium behind McCurk Stadium. That's not what it's called.
Kelly Shorts Stadium.
Kelly Shorts Stadium. Kelly/Shorts Stadium, by the way. That's the official pronouncing. For Central, and of course MSU Stadium. So, but Ann Pomeroy, being a current Western student, has been there more times than I have. So
The visit that we took was my fifth visit. Yes, visit number
we
5.
we visited to see the Western versus Central Michigan football game.
Quite the rivalry and quite the crowd when we went.
I gotta say, yeah, it was a fun time. As far as game experience goes, I think it was definitely like a higher level experience than what you normally get there. But it's the only impression I've got to go off of. So
Yeah.
if Central fans want to call me biased in the comments section, go the fuck ahead. You got bigger problems to worry about though, because your team lost
That's
when
true.
you played the better game overall.
Exactly.
So, anyways, got a lot of thoughts on the stadium. Let's just jump right into it, shall we? First thing I want to comment on is kind of the structure of the stadium, because I think that's probably one of the more interesting factors about this stadium. It has a fairly nice exterior, like Central, and I think this is how it goes for most of the MAC. Is a lot of their team facilities are worked into the stadium itself. Like the one end zone has the practice facility, and another side has the like has all of like the athletic department operations buildings and whatnot. It's not like Spartan Stadium. And Central has this too, where it's not like Spartan Stadium where it's all spread out across campus because it's a much smaller operation, which I like.
Yeah.
It provides a nice structure to the stadium that you don't get normally.
Yeah.
You get some cool building designs, but also that the one side of the stadium where the press box is built into a hill. Now that's very interesting, and I do really like that. I do like when stadiums kind of integrate the geography of the area a lot more like that.
It's some nice viewing areas too, because
Yes.
the areas of the hill that aren't grandstand are places where you can get up and watch. And it's not like a flat hill where everyone's in your way. It means people above get nice. It's a nice place to watch if you don't like if you like hurting your butt. But
Right. It also provides chances like at the top of the hill there's a building that like overlooks the stadium, which I think is really cool.
there used to be 2, and they got rid of one like this year. So you're cooked.
Well, there's still one.
There's still one, and it's kind of cool. They could build more.
The only downside to the hilly terrain that the stadium is built into is that it makes concourse navigation, as far as going from one side of the stadium to the other,
Awful.
very difficult. The concourse on the side of the stadium that we sat on, which is over by the road, wasn't too bad. It was it was about level. But going up to the press box side, you have to climb up from the first row pretty much all the way up to the top row just to get to that concourse. And holy shit, is it a hike.
Oh yeah, it's rough. Not only is it, you're scaling a hill, but also it's just like because that's a main artery, it's just very hard to go. Like, you have people who are trying to get to their seat mixed with people who, are trying to go up and all the way up and all the way down. So those stairways get very congested for just being aisles that serve 50 rows, and then they have to serve the people who are going up to the concourse and down to the other concourse. And how the other concourse works is it's just like the first 10 rows, go all the way up to the field and then out. And then there's a little walkway that's maybe 3 people wide. And that's the concourse that you can use to get basically all the way around. And that stinks.
And that's and again, with a smaller venue like this, there's no facilities for fans like concession stands, bathrooms, anything like that in the end zones. So some people that are sitting in the end zone, airing closer to the press box side, are also going to go up to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
And it just... Or go get something to eat or whatever.
I think the other concourse problem I want to bring up is... Well, not necessarily a problem, but just how it's designed, is the tunnels don't go straight to the athletic, the locker rooms. So the locker rooms are along that student section, long grandstand by the road where we sat. There's another building back there that's got the ticket office, the athletic offices, and the locker rooms. But the tunnels don't go straight to that. You have to, there's a whole little walkway that you got to do for both teams. So they have to, get some people to rope it off. And that the concourse becomes a standstill. When we were leaving, it took us, we had to wait, 5 minutes for all the visiting team people to come out before we could walk out.
So, that is something that Central doesn't have, which is the thing I put Central above Western in. Well, they might have it. We didn't stay the full game because it was a blowout, but it didn't look like that's what because the tunnels are worked in differently. But I don't know. It's kind of just the product of the construction of the stadium and how things go. I mean,
it wouldn't be worth their money to fix it.
No, it's not. It's not, because even for how big of a game this is, how big of a rivalry was, it was a pretty filled stadium.
Yeah.
But the amount of actual people traffic, I'd say, is on par to a lower tier MSU game.
Yeah.
And this is a abnormally high crowd level for Western. I think, at least. I don't know if
that was the biggest crowd I've seen by far.
So normally I don't think crowd congestion's a big issue here. Even for their biggest game of the year, it didn't seem like it was a huge problem. Now, granted, I didn't really... After we walked the concourse one lap, and then I was pretty much in my seat the rest of the game until we left. So I don't know how it is during the game.
It gets pretty, just that loop, it gets very busy during halftime. I moved during halftime to go see the train, which, by the way, you can get beautiful views of the Amtrak just going through while you're watching the game if you care about that. But and you get some pretty sunsets too if you're photography brain like me. But anyway, that concourse gets very, or it's not even a concourse. It's just a little walkway, this little aisle that goes the only way to get all the way around the stadium, and it's 3 people wide. So it took me very long just to get from our grandstand to the end zone grandstand.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I mean, I don't think MSU's concourse is built well either.
No, the upper ones are very bad.
But it just, I like a concourse where it's got good access for people flow. This one doesn't have that.
No, it's not.
What can you do? So that's it with that. I also want to comment on something Ann pointed out while we were at the game. The weirdly obstructed seats in the in the one end zone over by the practice facility.
I mean, it's just it's 4 seats. It's fine.
But
there's tens of thousands.
But why even have those? If there's only a couple of seats up there, why not just fully build a wall there?
I mean,
or take out the pillars and add a few extra seats, and then
take out the pillars. Yeah.
You could reinforce the structure a different way. Maybe take out some of the pillars, or just completely fill it and don't have those seats at all. Why would you even have those? I even saw people voluntarily sitting in those fucking seats.
I mean, those are
why
fun.
would you do that?
The shade. They're shaded seats.
And also means nobody bothers you. In a cloudy day when it's freezing?
I think they're fun. I don't know. There's got to be at least 3 people who think, that's fucking cool. I'm going to sit in the worst seats possible on purpose.
It's fun. There's a guy that actually does that for MLB Stadium.
Oh, yeah, that guy, the cheap seat guy. We need to get him out here.
Yeah. I wonder if he's even done Western.
There's no chance he's done Western Michigan football.
Yeah. I also want to comment on the speaker system. This is something I also have a complaint for Central, I believe.
Yeah.
It's not a great speaker system. I knew it was going to be a problem the minute that they just started playing the national anthem and there was no, like, gentlemen, please remove your caps. Active military and veterans may keep your caps on while rendering the military salute. Like, they probably said that, but nobody heard it. So everybody's like, oh shit, the national anthem's playing. Let me take my hat off.
Yeah.
You know, like. And then, like, when they did all of the engagement things, like during timeouts or at the, like, in between stuff going on in the game, like, you couldn't barely hear it because, like, I mean, we were in the front row of the student section, and I could not hear shit.
I mean, I think it's better. It's better on games that have not been so crowded, but even still, the other problem with the speakers is that they're all at one spot. They're all on that northern end zone with the practice facility. So if you're in that section, it is miserably loud. But like if you're in any other section, then you just can't hear. So.
Yeah, that's just not a good setup in my opinion. But, again, it's a lower funded stadium. What can you do?
There's no subtitles either, so you can't even see what they're saying.
No subtitles.
No subtitles, the horror.
I mean, the activities that they did were fine, I guess, otherwise. I mean, there was the band. The band was cool. I did like the team entrance as well when they brought out the Bronco horse. That was cool. But, like, the other in-game stuff was fine, I guess. Like, they did a t-shirt toss, a pizza toss. They did a...
You missed the higher or lower game.
There was the higher or lower game.
6-7.
Which I had no fucking clue it was going on until it was almost over.
Yeah.
So...
And then everyone was aura farming when they put the number 67 jersey up there. Tyler's over 6'7", but...
I'm actually under 6'7". I'm 20. I'm 2'2".
No, you're like 5'10", right? That's what the 6'7" is a height, not an age. It's about height. You're 5'10".
That's also true.
Yeah. Anyway,
the only other note that I took was that the stadium security. Because the stadium security at Central is extremely lax. Like, you can pretty much bring in whatever the fuck you want as long as it's not like an open firearm. Here it is a little stricter. There wasn't metal detectors, but they do have like security that like they make sure that you don't bring in like water or food.
Yeah, they have back checks, but they're not gonna,
like Central didn't have that. They just let you bring in whatever the fuck you wanted. Now this was a higher priority game, so maybe they were a little bit more strict. But like they made sure I threw out my water bottle. They made sure that bags were checked and everything like that. So I do appreciate that. It wasn't the most, like, strict security. I mean, I saw a lot of vapes, which, I mean, a metal detector would probably have solved most of those problems. But obviously, that's an extra investment that they probably don't seem worthy to make.
Yeah, and there a lot of their gates, especially the gates at the top of the hill, are like one person with one ticket scanner, and it would just be ridiculous. Yeah. Too. But they have 9 gates, despite being, not that big. There are 9 ways to enter the stadium, so it's a bit like,
stretching your staff thin at that point.
Yeah.
Because probably most of these people are volunteers, unless they're the police.
I don't know.
Or I guess if they're like student employees or something. I don't fucking know.
You could do it.
But, I mean, anyways, that's all that I had to talk about with this stadium. I thought it was a pretty nice stadium. Nothing crazy. But it's a nice stadium to go visit. Again, like Central, it's a pretty cheap ticket. I mean, I paid $22. Well, Ann paid $22, and I paid Ann back.
Yeah.
But and I got front row of the student section, had a great view, except for the 2 girls that kept blocking my view and ruined my shot of a Western touchdown and the team entrance. That's fucking awesome. You see that in the vlog that came out before this review will come out.
And they weren't the worst defenders today.
No, and then I had a guy to my right fondling my foot and asking me to join a threesome, which no, thank you. So hopefully I never see any of those people again in my life, which I shouldn't, because I don't know if I'll ever come back to the stadium. Maybe I will one day. But...
Maybe when MSU comes back for a game.
I forgot that happened. I cannot believe MSU played here.
That was their last sellout.
Are you surprised?
No, that's just a fun fact. That was their last sellout, was the first game in 2015. Anyway, I guess the other thing to think about is if you come here, explore the campus. It's very pretty. You can park on campus very easily on game days, and it's not that far to walk to the stadium.
That's another thing. I mean, the parking situation, even for how built the stadium was,
it was pretty easy.
We found easy parking.
Yeah.
It's not anywhere as bad as a bigger school. So, Central was the same boat.
But. Yeah, we were like 10 minutes away from our spot to walk there, and that's really not bad. So.
And you just had to use your regular.
Yeah, it was my regular school. I mean, you didn't even need a school parking pass. I just have a school parking pass because I attend the school, and that's where I park on weekdays. So, Anyway, I think that's all I've got. It's pretty cool. I'd recommend it, but it's not like a hidden gem that you really need to go out of your way for.
No, I mean, but again, it's a cheap outing if there's a team that goes there that you want to see, or you're in the area or whatnot. So, I will say, for diehard fans of the Western Central rivalry, Western's the better stadium, I would say. Not by much. I think they're both pretty even. But this stadium, I felt like at least, was a little bit larger and had a little bit more character to it. And also, they had scoreboards on each end zone. See, Central? It's not that hard. So, anyways, that's all I got to say. My final score for Waldo Stadium, I'd probably have to give it a good 7.
I think that's fine. I'm a little biased. Number one, we haven't been to a lot of stadiums because that's number 3 in college football stadiums for you, and it's number 2 in college football stadiums for me. So
but even compared to, I've been to 3 NFL stadiums now too, and I'd say it's probably better than Soldier Field.
You think it's not better than Soldier Field? It's
not better than US Bank or Ford Field
because they're all fancy.
Soldier Field's just bad. It's not a good stadium. It's old. It's very old. It's also really expensive.
Just go for soccer before they take soccer away. Anyway, I think that's appropriate. Yeah. I don't think it's got some major flaws despite having, it's a pretty good. It's a cool design, but at the same time, it's a bad design if you want to go anywhere but your seat. So
right.
And yeah, I think that's appropriate. I think that's all I got.
So that's going to do it for this review. If you've ever visited the stadium, let us know your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. That's going to do it for this review as well. So stay tuned for other much more amazing content, including more stadium reviews. Me and Ann Pomeroy have some more stadiums on the docket. And until next time, see you guys later. Yeah, bye.